The greatest enemy of individual freedom is the individual himself. That is a famous quote by Saul Alinsky. What it means is that the way to individual freedom is not blocked by other people but merely by your own self-actions. Basically, you choose and make your own destiny. Those are the kinds of things that Alinsky believed in and preached about in his book into communities he helped get organized. Saul Alinsky was born and raised in Chicago in 1909. He studied archaeology and criminology and worked as a criminologist. He received his degree in 1938 from the University of Chicago and went to work for sociologist Clifford Shaw at the Institute of Juvenile Research, where he was then assigned a research that causes a delinquency in Chicago's worst place in the city. He realized that criminal behavior was a symptom of poverty and powerlessness. Most of his work was done in Chicago, but due to activists and the spirit of his students, there was also organizing activity in all the big cities in the 1960s and 70s. His strategy was social reform by organizing in mass power and taught us the means for actions through his work. His actions and stated political purpose was the field of change and a constant stream of conflict within the democratic process. Alinsky knew that in today's society, most people are not motivated by altruism and that the right things are usually done for the wrong reasons. When he would go to a community and organize it, he would get the local churches involved. He would talk to them about what really motivated them, which to most of them was their self-interest, and he would also talk more about membership and more money. He was a passionate social reformer of great magnitude and wisdom that brought together community groups to work with socially aware churches. Alinsky brought together activists for United Community Action and was the best at doing so. Most could say that we can thank him for all the good that came out of all that was bad at the Democratic Convention in Chicago in 1968. He believed that conflict and controversy are the key elements of the democratic free way of life, and even told stories of spending time with Al Capone and his mom, learning how they worked and what kind of things that they did. Saul Alinsky also wrote a book called Rules for Radicals, which is mainly aimed at giving advice to young radicals and how to construct effective nonviolent social change. And he was very successful at doing so. He wanted people to know the difference between being a realistic radical and being a rhetorical one. He loved the American democratic tradition, and in his book, this outlines the rules of the game for organizers to follow it and bring together people bent on social and political justice. He took a social democratic stance and preached the revolutionary thinking of Abraham Lincoln and Henry David Thoreau. This seemed to be very successful for him to take this revolutionary thinking way and put it into his own actions and his own beliefs. His hard-nosed politics that are explained in detail throughout his book were shaped by the rough and tumble world of the late 1930s in Chicago. Saul Alinsky believed in the moral life and that moral life is the only road to survival, and if we do not share part of our material wealth, we could lose it all. Unfortunately, the great Chicago activist and writer passed away in 1972, but Saul Alinsky also left behind his street-smart tactics that are also given in his book and influenced generations of community organizers, and such as the most famous or most recent one, the 2008 elected president Barack Obama. Saul Alinsky definitely impacted many people in his life, and his decisions and his beliefs affected people and how they lived in a definite positive way. Thank you.